When you're on an elevator, there's lots of buttons, and you have to press a button, and you're using math.
When I'm counting money, I'm using math.
When I pack my backpack, I have to know how much stuff will fit.
I know how tall I am because my mom measures me at home.
When my mom says to clean up the living room, it doesn't mean half. It means the entire thing.
When I make pancakes, I measure everything.
When I use my Legos, I use 10 on one side, and then I use 10 on the other side, so it'll be even.
When I go buy a carpet, before I do, I measure the floor so that when I get the carpet fits perfect.
People use math in amazingly different ways. Math is so much more than just 1 + 1 = 2. For example, do you think the artist who made this or this used mathematical thinking to create it? Well, a calculated guess would be yes. Most artists find that math figures into everything they make, and Deborah Golitz is no exception. She's currently working on several murals for the New York subway system at Sheepshead Bay. This community is near the ocean, so fish is the central theme of her murals.
Usually I'll start by making some drawings in my sketchbook, and when I find one I like, I'll make a full-blown drawing using color, and I'll even start to draw in the fish tiles in the background from it. To make the fish tile, I drew 5 circles, and the center circle next to the other circles became the shape of the tile. The width of the tile is the same as the diameter of the circle. This mural will need about 200 fish tile. I'm going to use a special cutter I had made to cut out shapes. And the only difference between this and a cookie cutter is that it has a wooden board on the inside that pushes the clay out when I push this handle. I can cut out 15 shapes out of 25 pounds of clay. Now I'll put the blank cut-out piece of clay into my mold so it can make the impression of the fish tile. These are some fish tile I've just made from wet clay. Now after they're fired once, they shrink a bit in size. I need to know how much it shrinks in order to gauge the final size of the mural. So I make a ruler out of clay and I fire it so I can compare exactly how much the shrinkage rate is. In this case, it's about 11%. Then I draw my picture, very large, onto a plastic piece of paper, and I trace the images from the sheet onto the clay. When I trace the image of the fisherman onto it, I cut out the pieces where the fisherman is going to go. I remove those fish tile pieces, creating this blank space. And then I fill that blank space in with tiles that I cut out in the shape of the fisherman. I have numbers on the back of every tile, and I have a chart that lets me keep track of the numbers so I can put them back in their same spots. This mural has been fired once already, but not glazed yet. When it's glazed, it'll look like this one, colorful and ready to install. It's like decorating a cake. Because of their shape, the tiles fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. Since all the tiles have been glued to a mesh background, I can install them in sections. When I see my work in the subway stations or in another place, it feels very nice. I love what I do, and math is definitely a tool, just as much as my ruler or my hands.